Hey, Seasonal Vantage Insiders, this is Alex from MarketWise Asia. Thank you for watching this video. So as I'm doing this video, the time now, it is actually 11:50 p.m. It is on a Saturday evening at 4th of November 2023. So by the time you are watching this video, I'll be sending out on a Monday afternoon. I will be away from the desk already, most likely in Japan already. Okay, so all right, yeah, this is just a video to update you guys, okay, while I'm away. All right, so just to let you know, from the 5th to 14th of November, I won't be in Singapore. So which means that on the next week, on the 13th, okay, on the 13th of November, Monday, I won't be able to provide you with the updates. So one session, I won't be around over here. So with that disclaimer, first, whatever I share in this video is just for education purpose, not a recommendation to tell you what to buy or what to sell. Okay, so let's kickstart this session right now. So if you haven't watched my public Facebook Live on last Friday, okay, I do encourage you to watch it. So I give you the public a very broad idea of what the market is doing. It also applies to you, Seasonal Vantage Insiders as well. So just a very brief recap over here. So last week was actually a fantastic week, right? So as I mentioned, I am insisting on going long. Okay, insisted on going long. So it paid off. It paid off. Okay. So you can see over here the S&P 500. Okay, ever since on Monday 30th. Okay, market just went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1 week of consecutive updates. Okay, fantastic move over here. So as I mentioned during the public Facebook Live, right? So if you actually bought the index also, right, I think you can look to take some profit off the table, and you have been doing the trades, okay, based on seasonal data, one that I mentioned, okay, in my last week video. By right, you should be able to exit already, or at least take partial profit and such, because I believe that the upside, okay, is very limited right now. We are nearing towards the resistance level right now already, very near already. Okay, so if you add in my usual pivot point, support and resistance level over here, you can see that we are hitting the R1 level for the S&P 500 level. Okay, so it is also very near the volume profile area over there, and also for the Nasdaq, okay, we are also hitting the resistance area soon. So the upside, it is not there really. So I don't encourage you to be so aggressively long, okay, for this upcoming week from the 5th to 12th of November. So essentially, okay, last week, okay, whatever you bought, okay, should go up. Of course, with the help of seasonal, you also pinpoint some of the sectors and industry or even stocks that can go even higher, okay, than the index. All right. So with that, okay, so I'll just let you know, we need to be very selective on what we are choosing this week, because the market is in an overbought, from a very oversold level to a very fast overbought level. Okay, so I don't think there will be a lot of setup. Okay, anyway, okay, I will just share with you guys first. Okay, as of the end of this Friday, as in the Friday, right, last week, right, you can see that this is the RRG chart over here, relative rotation graph over here. You can see this is based on the daily time frame. Can you see that the ones that are moving is like consumer, discretionary, real estate, materials, financial is still doing pretty well. Consumer defensive, okay, I mentioned about consumer defensive of I think for the past 2 weeks or so. Utilities, okay, it is still doing well, because prior to that, okay, the market is coming down and utility is actually performing very well. Okay, it is a defensive sector over here. You can see that right now, based on daytime frame, the energy is not doing very well, or technology is not as good, okay, as the rest of the other sectors. But this is based on the daily time frame. It could be a little bit lagging. So if you want to be a little bit faster, okay, you can let's zoom into the 60-minute 1 hour time frame, and then we just see how the market go for the past 1 week or so. So can you see that the health is starting to go higher, even though the daily time frame is saying it's not doing very well. I think that XLB is not too bad, okay, for the coming week or so. Materials is also not too bad, okay. Industrial is okay. Financial is still doing well, okay. XLP not so much, okay, for the based on the hourly time frame over here. But all in all, okay, the usual sectors that you could be looking at, can be, financials, okay, the healthcare, industrial, all this still applies for this coming November month as well. Okay, so let's recap on what we discussed actually last week over here. So last week, okay, I mentioned a number of, basically ETF, okay, I mentioned a number of ETF, okay. So the one that I actually looked at was, I mentioned to you guys, right? I won't go through the Excel data over there once again. So I will just go through what I recall, okay. So this URA, I mentioned about the global uranium, okay. So yeah, so price went above 25.41, wash and rinse pattern, and then it's go up. Okay, so yeah, I've already exited uranium as well. Okay, another one that I actually entered, it is SVI, biotech. Okay, biotech. You see that over here, I mentioned about 65.21. So if price can stay 65.21, okay, price, I actually entered, yeah. So I exited on this day as well, XBI. Okay, fantastic move over here on Friday. And then I also entered on ITA. Okay, ITA, it is aerospace and defense. So, again, this the wash and rinse pattern over here. I enter on this day above the wash line, which is 107.41. Okay, I exited on the Thursday. Thursday, it is over here. All right, I exited over there. Okay, I also have XLP. I also exited. Okay, of very good profit. So I mentioned during the Facebook Live. Okay, this one actually I held for quite a while. All right, so since I entered long over here, okay, never hit my profit target, I just let it go, okay, and eventually on Friday, I managed to exit fully my position as well. So all in all, it's actually, most of the stocks ETF that I mentioned should go up, okay, because the market generally, it is bullish. Okay, I know, of course, like Henry, he entered into ITB. Henry is also one of the seasonal advantage insiders. Also a very fantastic move by the US home construction over here, So I also mentioned that above the 72.32 wash and rinse line, you can enter, okay. So I mentioned during the Facebook Live, let's say if you missed out on the day one, you can enter on the day two. It is still okay. So it eventually, price, move up like this. Okay, but right, I think you should take profit, okay, because I feel that it has went up a lot already. When people want to chase, okay, we let them chase, okay, while we sell to them, we exit our profitable position. Okay, so let's head back to the current Excel data sheet over here. So as usual, I will look through the ETF first, ETF to have a broad view on what the sectors or industry is looking. So for this coming week, right, it is from the 5th to the 12th of November. Okay, so I already filtered already. Okay, 5th to 12th, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 8, 9, 10. No, 13, 13 is following week, so it's also 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you can see over here, right, a lot of things still maintains the same, like, industrial still is very strong. Bank, financial, right? So I mentioned before, in the month of November, the financial sector tends to outperform the S&P 500. So KBE, okay, so all these are the sectors that you could look at. Okay, ITB is still performing pretty well from 9 November to 28, but a lot of these, ETF has already run up already. So I don't think there will be a lot of trigger for us to enter. So basically, it is like, wash and rinse pattern. I'll give you an example over here. So for example, this ITB, right? So price has already ran up so high already. So for the coming week, if there is no pullback, okay, very likely I won't be entering. Okay, I won't be entering. Okay, I think it's good to you do have to trade every single week. Sometimes you can take a break when we feel that the edge is not there. Okay, of course, price can continue to go up like that lah. Okay, like this lah. But I generally don't like to chase an overextended market. Okay, so let's say price can also do a kind of consolidating range over here. Okay, I am also not so keen. Okay, I prefer at least a 2 or 3 days of pullback like that. Then I'll be more comfortable to go along like that. A few days of pullback, okay. So if you go back to the data over here, so 9th of November to 20th of November. So from 5th of from the 6th, okay, of November Monday until the 9th, there's still possibly a few days of pullback. Okay, that will be great. Let's see how it goes. Basically, we need a trigger to enter. All right, so I can see that these are interestingly, I want to highlight on this SPLV. So some of you might not be so familiar with this, okay, but I've been watching the ETF for the longest time. Okay, SPLV is actually quite common. Okay, even if you might not know this, okay, this is the low volatility ETF over here. So what does that mean? Okay, it means that price compared to the S&P 500, it is less volatile compared to the SPX. Okay, so what are the stocks that comprises of this SPLV? Okay, so you can head over to etf.com/SPLV over here. So a lot of them are the consumer defensive stocks. Okay, so let's walk through with you. So SPLV is actually quite big. SPLV. Can you see the SPLV? Let it load for a while. SPLV. Somehow it's not loading very well. Let's try to reload again. It is not loading very well over here. So let me see if I can get another data. Okay, SPLV. Okay, you can see from the Invesco. All right, so it's based on the 100 stocks from the S&P 500 with the lowest volatility, okay, for the past 12 months over here. You can see that the portfolio, all right, about 26%, okay, is from staple, which is the consumer defensive, utilities, consumer defensive, 18%, healthcare, also consumer defensive over here. So can you see that, a very familiar stocks, okay? You can see that it's like some of them, a lot of these, food companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, PepsiCo, okay, famous brands like Colgate, okay, Walmart, okay, Kimberly-Clark, PG, all these are consumer defensive stocks. So you can see that the consumer defensive stock is in play for this coming week, which is pretty strong, okay, seasonally in the month of November as well. So you can see that this is a consumer defensive over here. Can you see over here, right? BDC, consumer stable, consumer defensive over here, okay, and then PBJ, all right, food and beverage ETF, also consumer defensive. So you know that consumer defensive, you can keep a watch list on the consumer defensive ETF or stocks. But again, a lot of them have already gone up. You need to wait for a wash and rinse trigger to go in, or at least a few days of pullback. Okay, I prefer that. All right. So this is the ETF. Another one I want you to take notice is that something that's interesting. Okay, it is actually the Hong Kong ETF as well. Okay, from the 9th of November to the 27th of November. For the past 11 years, it closed higher. Okay, for the past 11 years, 10 years, it closed higher. All right, so somebody asked me about Hong Kong now, but I didn't tell them the exact date. Okay, so in fact, it's actually this coming week, 9 November to 27th of November, basically the whole of November month. So you can use it as a proxy for the Hong Kong market, as a proxy for the Hong Kong Hang Seng Index, okay, EWH. Let's take a look at EWH right now. Okay, EWH again, after languishing at the bottom, okay, you can see that price has a very good 3-day run over here. So once again, it is very difficult for me to enter if there is no pullback. So I don't like to chase. Can it go higher? Can, but I generally don't like to chase. So I'll prefer to have at least 2 or 3 days of pullback. Then I'll prefer to enter. But again, we need to see whether the market does give us the opportunity to enter. So let me try again whether you can see the ETF.com can work or not. Okay, EWH. Try. It doesn't work very well. Let me try to find this one. iShares. Let me see whether we can get the component stocks over here. Okay, so this is iShare. Okay, index composed of Hong Kong equities, exposure to large and mid-sized company in Hong Kong. Okay, so let me see whether there is the holdings. Okay, under the holdings over here. So what are the stocks? Okay, basically Hong Kong stocks, not Chinese stocks. Okay, so AIA, Hong Kong, Sunhai, CK Hutchison, okay, Tektronic, CLP, all these are Hong Kong stocks. So you realize that the Chinese stocks are not inside, like Alibaba, Meituan, okay, all these are not inside. But you can use it as a proxy for the Hang Seng Index. So again, you can keep a watch out for the Hong Kong ETF EWH, okay? All right, or you can just trade directly the Hong Kong market Hang Seng ETF or Hang Seng CFD. It is entirely up to you. All right, so you can see that other than that, we can also see a few like REIT, okay, property, REIT, okay, IYR, also the real estate ETF over here. So how is IYR performing? It is also not too bad for the past 1 week. Essentially, as I mentioned, all the sectors in the US are doing quite well. So again, it is very hard for me to chase like buy here. I would prefer to wait for a pullback, and then there's a trigger for me to enter. Okay, and then for the stocks wise, right, there also are a lot of stocks over here. Okay, I think about 140. So if you take a look at the sectors, you can see that bulk of it is from the consumer goods, okay, which is okay, consumer defensive, which is correct, right? Okay, we have really zoom in that consumer defensive should have a good run, okay, and then healthcare, okay, and financial. All right, industrial also not too bad. So these are the few ones that you can be looking at. Financial, healthcare, industrial, consumer goods, which is the consumer defensive. But I have did some screening. Okay, I did some screening. Okay, so the only one that kind of really passed my criteria and didn't really move much. Okay, it lagged behind so far. It is actually okay. Let me try to find for you. It is actually LMAT. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this lah. Okay, LMAT. This one. Okay, this one over here. Le Metro Vascular. So this is under healthcare equipment and supply. So it is from the 7th of November to 20th of November. Okay, the window period is very short, so only 14 calendar days. For the past 10 years, okay, 9 years, it closed higher during this period of time. So let's go to LMAT over here. So LMAT, okay. So while the market, kind of bulldozing up for the past 1 week or so, this LMAT, okay, the metrovascular, it didn't really, surge lah. Okay, so whether we can see that this week, this lagging stock can surge, okay, we shall see. Okay, but what I look like is that, it has a very strong sell-off, and during earnings, so it had these earnings over here. Okay, so underperform. You can see that surprise underperform. All right, for the revenue, but earnings outperform a little bit. Okay, but the market actually has a kind of a strong sell-off towards the end over here, and the market cannot go down lower. Okay, so a lot of times, right, the market will find resistance level at the central pivot range. You can see that, it was in a very strong uptrend prior to that. Okay, all right, until July, then the market start to come down. Okay, you can see that resisted by the central pivot range, resisted by CPR, resisted by CPR, break above but cannot sustain, came down again. So right now, it is prior to that, it also got resisted at the CPR, but somehow the market did not go down further. Instead, okay, also there is a wash and rinse pattern over here. You can see that this is the closing price is 46.65. Okay, all right, and the low over here is 46.71. Okay, I'll just 46.71. All right, so there is a wash and rinse pattern over here. So this is the wash bar over here. Okay, 46.71. And you can see that on Friday, price actually stayed above 46.71. Okay, and we shall see how the market is going to open on Monday. And if price, can stay somewhere around there, all right, I think, we can try to go for a long. You can try to go for a long. For me, I'm not so sure whether be trading because, I am in Japan, might not have the mood or the time to trade. So I shall see how it goes. But I might trade this on the mat and give it a try. Okay, so it has been a very fantastic week for the past 1 week or so. So LMAT, LMAT is the only one that fits the criteria and is lagging right now. So let's see whether price can stay above 46.71. Okay, so there's a two-way to enter. Okay, one, okay, it is directly, when the market open on Monday, okay, open, you just buy. You just buy. Okay, of course, the swing low, you can most likely put the stop loss, can put somewhere at the swing low over here, okay, or can put somewhere around here, up to you. I prefer to put at the lower value over here, okay, or you can wait until, I don't know, maybe until like Singapore time, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., that kind, then you can enter. But at least 1 hour after the market has opened. So, on Monday, all right, there'll be the daylight savings. Okay, so no longer the market open at 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. You open at 10:30 p.m. So if you really want to enter, at least enter 1 hour after that, 11:30 p.m. Let the market, runs its course. Okay, let it run for the past 1 hour and see how the market react. After 1 hour, then I think that it is better for you to enter because the first 1 hour could be quite volatile. So let's see if at least 11:30 p.m. onwards, the market can stay above 46.71 or not. Okay, so I repeat, there's two choices. Either market open, you just buy on Monday, or after the market open, you don't do anything. Wait for at least 1 hour, then you'll see how the market open. If it still stay above 46.71, then maybe we could try along on that. Okay. So with that, I thank you for your time over here. Just a very quick recap. I won't be doing the update on the 13th of November Monday. All right, so I'll be still in Japan. So market has been up for last week. It can be quite difficult for an entry if I don't want to chase. So I'll prefer to wait for at least a pullback. So the only stock that kind of fit my screening, okay, it is only this LMAT, LMAT, okay, Lametry Vascular. So we shall see how it goes on Monday, and have a safe trading week ahead. I will see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.